What's the deal? It's your boy Finesse Hustle back with another installment of Hood Prison Stories. Today I want to talk about how the Texas prison system is really modern day slavery, and it is really, that's all it is based off of, even though, you know, everybody say that shit about different states and shit, which it really is, but they really base their shit off that shit due to the fact, like, back in January 1863, when the slavery was abolished and shit in America, they ain't let the slaves in Texas know until 1865. So with that came about, that the way that came about is because the slave masters, they thinking about, damn, how the fuck I'm finna work my land and shit. They done freed these niggas or whatever, right? So what they end up doing, linking with the jailers and shit, which was already drawing off the old slave codes and shit. So all they did was arrest them, kept them blind to the fact that they was free and shit like that. So they leased, when they started locking black people up again, they leased them and shit, you know what I'm saying, to the plantation once again and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you got, like, right now, niggas be working in the fields and shit down in Texas, you know what I'm saying? They call it state jail, they be calling it the whole squad and shit. You will get a motherfucking slip on your bed, like, you on whole squad 3 tomorrow, and you gotta work. And then if you don't work, you don't eat. Like, what I mean by that, like, say they got a hot tray when you going to the chow hall, you done worked all day and shit. If you didn't do that, and they had to cuff you and put you in a hole or however, you gonna get a Johnny. A Johnny, derived from Johnny Seldom, when they was on the breeding plantations and shit, or whatever, any plantation, but mainly like them breeding plantations where it was a lot of women and kids and shit, because that's how they used to put them all in one and shit, you know what I'm saying? They called a Johnny Seldom, which would be like when the slave masters and shit, they eating pancakes and shit like that, they'd get the leftovers, and they called it a Johnny Seldom because they seldomly got it. And that's what they use, that's the same term they use when you in there and you don't work, and they use that shit for punishment, you know what I'm saying? It's the other way around or whatever. And in the Johnny, you get and keep in mind, that motherfucker come in a garbage can too, on wheels, when they bring that bitch in, you know what I'm saying? Especially when they do the whole unit like that, it's gonna be a fruit, some type of fruit, apple, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a milk and 2 slices of bread and 1 slice of cheese, and you done for the day. It ain't no chicken patty on that motherfucker. They go crazy. They'll really treat a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that, boy. That shit fuck with niggas' mental and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that make motherfuckers lash out in there. So commissary is necessary when you in there. So all the fights and all the bullying and shit, it really be about that food at the end of the day. If you beat a nigga ass in the day room, you might as well go drag his ass to his locker and take that shit, because you really need it, even if you don't need it, but you really need it. Everything counting that bitch. So that's what niggas be on. Like, you really dog a nigga, go and rob him too. That's because if it was you, it's gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't promoting violence, but that's how that shit go. You know what I'm saying? So that shit be about all that. All that shit be a lot of shit be intertwined once you just think about it, or you know, do your research. But I ain't gonna talk y'all head off, man. Fuck with me, man. I'm gonna try to drop these bitches daily though.